Hey guys, so I have some exciting news for you. The pun is intended. um, we're going to be hatching our own eggs, and I can't wait. Like, I've always wanted to do something like this, and I never have. I grew up in the city. I never had a garden. I had a dog once and a cat once and like a hamster when I was like 7. So this is going to be like a really fun learning experience for me and for the kids too. Alex, I'm never sure if he has hatched out any eggs before or not, but I don't think I've ever even asked him. But so we are going to be doing that, and we have our own chickens. We actually just got a rooster from a friend of mine, and we waited a few weeks and collected up some eggs to make sure that they're fertile. And we are going to be starting the process. It's going to take like 21 days. Whenever I was reading the instructions on it to hatch. So I want to show you guys the incubator that we got. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not very well. But this is, we got this from Big R. We got this incubator from our local Big R store. And if you don't have a Big R store, you can, they have online, you can actually shop online. So I know that there's a lot of like incubator choices out there, and it can kind of be overwhelming to pick an incubator that would be best for you. But this is the one that we picked out. It's a deluxe digital circulated air incubator with automatic egg turner. So I think this is going to be like the Cadillac of incubators. It has, an air circulator. So the air won't just be in there sitting stagnant. It'll be rotating around the eggs to provide a more even like heat up for the eggs. I think to probably ensure the success of their hatching. And then there's like a tray. I'll show you guys kind of more up close when we start putting the eggs in. But there's a tray that each egg sits in, and it can hold like different sizes of eggs. You can do peafowl in it. You can even do as small as quail eggs in it. You can do goose eggs, duck eggs. So there's a variety of eggs. And what's really cool about it is there's like a digital, I'm drawing a blank. There's like a digital display on the front, and it has different modes. So it also controls the humidity, because that's pretty important too when hatching eggs. And this is all stuff that I've kind of read it over the last couple of days. I looked up a few things online, and I read there's like a paper that comes along with it that has like really good thorough instructions on how to test your incubator before you run it, because you want to do that to make sure that, from the factory, you want to make sure that it can hold the temperature correctly over the next 21 days. Like, those things are pretty important to have a successful hatch. And you don't want the temperature to be too high set, because it can actually speed up the process of your chicks to hatch, which it sounds like a good idea, but you don't want that to happen. It's 21 days for a reason, right? So you want them to hatch within that 21-day time frame, probably give or take a day, depending on how quickly they get themselves out of the shell. But for the most part, for like developmental stuff, you want that full 21 days. So it controls the humidity. There's a little spot in there to add some more water if you need to add a little bit more water. I ran the incubator. It only said you had to run it for 12 hours, but I actually ran it for the last couple of days just to get an idea of how to maintain the humidity, because you do need to add water. And it seems so far like every 3 days, the humidity, it seems to drop like 1% per day. But there is a generous percentage a frame for your humidity level, so that helps. So you can keep an eye on it, and every like 3 or 4 days add just a little bit of water to bring the humidity back up. I mean, it's like a 10% range that you have, so it's a pretty large range to keep maintaining. So that won't be very hard. And then the temperature that you want it is 99.5 to 100.5. That's the ideal temperature for hatching. And then as we get closer to the 21-day mark, we'll raise the humidity. But we'll get, I'm going to do this, like, it's 21 days, but this is going to be a process that I'm going to share with you throughout the 21 days. So I won't bombard you all at once in one video with what's going on and how to do it, because that can be overwhelming, and to remember all that stuff can be overwhelming. So we're going to take baby steps. And then I also plan to share about our progress over on Instagram. I have an Instagram account, and I'll go ahead and put the link to my Instagram down below, so you can go ahead and click that and give me a follow. The baby's waking up from her nap. But you can go ahead and click there and follow me. And every other day or so, we'll just check in on the eggs and look at them and, chat a little bit. If you guys have any questions, you can message me there or just leave them below in the comments, and I can address any questions maybe in the next video. But there will be more frequent, but short updates over on Instagram if you want to follow the process daily. I have a couple of friends who they homeschool their kids, and they're going to kind of incorporate my journey into kind of a fun little homeschool lesson. So I thought that was super cool. But yeah, so today is day 1. So I just wanted to kind of tell you about the incubator that we're going to be using. So you go out and you collect your eggs. You can actually collect your eggs and have them sit out for, I think it's up to 5 or 6 days. You can leave them out on the counter while you collect up. If you only get a few at a time and you want to hatch a bunch of eggs all at once, then you have that window, 5 or 6 days to collect them up before you place them in your incubator. But you want to get your incubator plugged in and running so that when you put it in there, then it's good to go. And when you do put them in, you want to make sure that, because you can even store them in your fridge too if you don't want to leave them out on the counter. But however which way you do it, if you choose to put them in the fridge to store them until you are ready to place them in your incubator, then you need to take them back out and leave them on the counter and let them get to room temperature before you stick them in the incubator, because they're going to go straight from room temperature to 100 degrees. So you want to kind of get that, a little bit, not so drastic of a change from like 40 degrees to 100 degrees. But also, whenever you collect your eggs, yes, you have to have a rooster. You never know. It's a learning process. We all have to start somewhere. So you do need a rooster. We have a rooster, I mentioned, we got from our friend. And he's been out there. We've had him for a few weeks now. So we're pretty sure that our eggs are going to be fertile. And then when you store them, while you're waiting, and even as you transfer them into the incubator, you want to have the smaller side pointing down. And that really truly does make a difference. There's like an air bubble in there. And if the air bubble goes the wrong way, you tip it over and the air bubble travel and it does something, and it can actually prevent your chick from developing, and it would die or it just won't develop. So you want all of them pointed down. And for this hatch, this is kind of our test run hatch. And so we're only going to do 3, 6, we're going to do 8 eggs for now. So I want to write on the top, let's see, today's date is January 30th. So I'm going to go ahead and write the date with a pencil. You don't want to use ink. I want to write the date on the top of the egg because that is also going to let me know in the incubator, since we have that automatic turner. I'll be able to tell if it's turning properly without having to disturb the eggs, because you don't really want to disturb them very often. You want to keep it pretty minimal. So I'm going to write on there 1:30. And I'm going to do that with all of the eggs. 1:30. And then also, whenever you do get your eggs, when you collect them out of your coop, or if you're getting them from somebody else, if they've never hatched before and they're not sure, maybe, let them know. Don't wash your eggs. Like, never ever wash your eggs. The eggs naturally, they come out with a protective coating on them that keeps them from going bad. And that's super important that you don't wash them. You do want to try to collect the cleanest eggs that you can. Sometimes, they can get a little messy in there and poop like all over an egg. So you don't want to choose the poopiest egg if you can help it. You want the cleanest eggs. And then if there are anything stuck to it, you can just gently brush it off as much as you can. You can use cloth, but t-shirt, that works. But just don't wash it. And once you have that done, then we are ready to stick them in the incubator and start our process. And I was calculating it this morning. One of our kids, they have a birthday on February 18th. And I was calculating this morning, 21 days from today. And if we would have started this yesterday, we could have had eggs hatching on his birthday. So I wish I would have kind of paid more closer attention to the timing of that, because I thought that would have been really fun for him. But that's okay. I think a day after is still going to be fun for him. So we're going to go over here. Oops. So we have the incubator set up in one of the kids' bedrooms. So it's super ugly in here. It's like the bedroom. It's like nursery/office. It's blue and orange. Someone's a Blippi fan. Okay. So here we have our incubator. There's the digital screen I was talking about. And our humidity is still climbing. I've been keeping an eye on it. I added some more water in there just a little bit ago. The temperature is where I want it. I have it set for 21-day timer. And I'm not really too concerned right now putting the eggs in with this. It will rise over the next couple of hours. It will rise up to the humidity that we want. I think we wanted around 50 or 60% humidity. And look, it's pretty sensitive, as you can see. Just me touching it, it brought it down 0.5 degree, but that's still okay. We're not worried about that. So you want to try to place it in as little of a drafty place as possible. And here's our eggs. These are we have production reds, and then we also have some copper morans. So there's different sizes too. So some of these, and our copper morans don't lay the darkest of eggs. This one I think is a copper moran because of the speckles on it. So some are production reds, some are copper morans, and the rooster that we have is an Easter egger rooster. So later on we want to be a little more breed specific rather than just having like mutts. But I think with this combination, I think we might, if any of these end up hens, I think we'll get some green or blue layers. And if you want to know like more about the coloration of how the eggs turn brown or blue or green or whatever, you can Google that up. It's actually pretty cool. So we have this resting up on our file cabinet for now. But I'm going to open this up. Here, let me turn the camera around and set it up. Okay, so taking the lid off, setting it aside. It's pretty warm. And then I want to still place the eggs in there in the same way that we were to store them, with the pointy side down. So I'm going to go ahead and stick them in. I'm going to space them out too, just for better airflow around the eggs. There. So they're all in there nice and cozy now. And we're going to stick the lid back on. Make sure it's all even on there so that the heat stays in better. And it dropped a few degrees, and the humidity dropped a tad whenever I opened it up. So that's kind of one reason we don't want to open it up a whole lot during this process, just to keep it more of like a constant temperature as best we can. But in about, I think 5 or 6 days, we will do candling on them. And that's when you just shine a light in there to check the development, to see if there's any veins that are forming inside of the egg yet, and see like how the progress is going. And you actually candle them, I think 2 or 3 times within this 21-day period. So I won't tell you guys anything today about candling. We'll do that in a couple of days when we come back to candle them, and we'll talk a little bit about candling. And I do want to let you guys know that I will also be putting this up in a blog too, just for written, for those of you that need something to like read, and then also for my notes, because I'm sure if I write it down on paper, the kids will probably find it and it'll be like paper airplanes, and it's a lot more fun, you know, anyways, to photograph and video the progress instead to go back and refer to for notes than it is to actually write it down on paper. So yeah, I'm excited, you guys. If you have any questions, or if you want to have me touch on any more details about any of this, if you guys are new, leave them down below, or like I said, head over to Instagram and give me a follow over there. And you can always direct message me and ask me over there, because this is a learning process for me too, and I would love to share it with you guys. So I would love to, you know, as the next videos come out, I would like to answer any of your guys' questions that you may have. So also, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe my video, so that it will be easier for you to come back and follow this journey over the next 21 days with us. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.